What if the most powerful people in the world discovered they were never truly in control? The question hung in Sofia Reyes's mind like a ghost she couldn't quite shake off. Snow fell softly outside the panoramic windows of the Aspen retreat, dusting the evergreens and mountains in shimmering white. Inside, Sofia stood by the roaring stone fireplace, swirling a glass of scotch in her hand, her mind anything but relaxed. In 48 hours, the world's most powerful individuals, the Titan Assembly, would gather here. Titans of industry, finance, technology, and media. People who could shift markets with a phone call, topple governments with a whisper. And for the first time in the Assembly's 30-year history, Elon Musk had accepted the invitation. Sofia had spent months arranging this. Years, in truth, building the credibility, the network, the power to pull it off. She was the architect behind the Assembly's influence, the invisible hand shaping global strategy from the shadows. But Elon Musk? He had always been the wild card. You think he'll actually show? Nathaniel Cross asked from the leather armchair across from her. Nathaniel, once the darling of clean energy startups, now commanded an empire of next-gen infrastructure projects. Silver-haired, sharp-eyed, a friend and occasional adversary. He confirmed, Sofia said, trying to sound more certain than she felt. And he requested a speaking slot. Nathaniel raised an eyebrow. After 15 years of declining us? Exactly. Silence stretched between them. The fire cracked and popped. He's not coming to join us, Nathaniel said finally. He's coming to change the game. Sofia nodded slowly. And we have to be ready. Underscore 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 underscore. 2 days later, the assembly buzzed with nervous energy as private jets descended onto the snowbound airstrip. Limousines whisked their precious cargo to the secluded estate, security guards posted at every hidden trail and access road. Inside the Great Hall, the Titans gathered. 40 individuals whose combined net worth eclipsed the GDP of most nations. Men and women who had mastered industries, invented technologies, rewritten the rules of modern life. Sofia watched them arrive, one by one. Claire Fontaine, biotech queen whose gene therapies had extended human lifespan. Arturo Vance, the logistics magnate who controlled half the world's supply chains. Rajesh Singh, telecom wizard turned space industrialist. Celine Hart, media mogul with more viewers than CNN and BBC combined. Each of them was smiling. But Sofia knew better. Behind every greeting was calculation, behind every handshake a silent weighing of strengths and weaknesses. And then, as the sun began to dip below the frozen mountains, the helicopter appeared. Sleek. Unmarked. Black as a crow against the winter sky. It touched down lightly on the helipad, kicking up a flurry of snow. The rotors slowed. The door swung open. And there he was. Elon Musk. Dressed simply, jeans, a dark jacket, a pair of worn sneakers, with a small backpack slung casually over one shoulder. He looked around, eyes scanning the gathered billionaires like a scientist studying a new species. No entourage. No fanfare. Just Elon, smiling that half smirk that made it impossible to tell whether he was about to hug you or destroy you. Traveling light, Sofia murmured. Or planning a quick exit, Nathaniel murmured back. The gathered titans shifted, instinctively sensing the change in the room's gravitational pull. Sofia stepped forward, extending her hand. "Welcome to the assembly, Mr. Musk." He shook her hand firmly, his eyes locking onto hers with unsettling clarity. "Thanks," he said simply. "Been meaning to stop by." As they led him into the great hall, the conversations swirled around them, filled with thinly veiled curiosity and sharpened smiles. Sophia walked beside Musk, heart pounding. Something was coming. She could feel it. And no amount of preparation would be enough. Dinner that night was grand but silent. Normally, the assembly's opening meal brimmed with laughter, carefully worded provocations, and subtle power plays. But not this time. This time, Elon Musk sat at the head of the table with Sophia on one side and Nathaniel on the other. And nobody knew what to say. He didn't speak much. He didn't need to. His presence was louder than words. After dessert was cleared, Sophia stood to introduce the first round of private briefings. "We'll begin tomorrow at 9 a.m., as scheduled. Each of you will have your presentation slot. Mr. Musk has requested to go last." That stirred some tension. Musk only smiled. "I prefer grand finales." Later that evening, as snow thickened outside the estate, Sophia returned to her suite to find a sealed envelope slipped under her door. Handwritten. No logo. No name. Inside was a single line. "You should know who's been feeding him. He's closer than you think." Her hands froze. Her heart climbed to her throat. Sophia rushed to her private study, locked the door, and activated her secure terminal. Within minutes, her AI flagged a pattern: confidential documents leaked from assembly meetings, internal projections, even video files, all accessed by someone within her own inner circle. The name that appeared made her blood run cold. Nathaniel Cross. Her friend. Her confidant. Her one-time lover. The betrayal hit harder than any business loss. She stared at the screen, fists clenched. And just then, her encrypted phone buzzed. A message from an untraceable number. "You wanted to know who opened the door. Now decide what to do with him before the house burns down." Across the hall, Nathaniel was sipping brandy by the fire, laughing with Claire Fontaine as if nothing had happened. Sophia didn't sleep that night. Underscore 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 underscore. By morning, tension crackled in the air. Everyone gathered in the circular conference room, seated by sector: tech, finance, energy, media, healthcare. Musk was already there, scribbling in a small leather notebook. One by one, members presented their updates: global trends, market predictions, political influence strategies. Musk said nothing. Not until the final hour. When it was finally his turn, he stood calmly, placed his backpack on the table, and pulled out a slim silver tablet. The screen lit up behind him with a single word: LUMEN. For the past 3 years, Musk began, a decentralized group of engineers, ethical hackers, and ex-insiders have built something that changes the rules of trust. He tapped the tablet. Graphs, network webs, and internal screenshots flooded the screen. LUMEN is not a system. It's a mirror. One pointed directly at you. He paused. As of this morning, LUMEN has penetrated the digital vaults of 37 of your corporations. And not just to peek. To archive. To model. To understand. Murmurs. Gasps. Silence. This isn't extortion, Musk continued. It's revelation. And yes, before you ask, I had help. From within. He didn't look at Nathaniel. He didn't need to. Sophia did. Nathaniel stared ahead, lips pressed into a tight line. He knew. And now, so did everyone else. The room was still reeling when it happened. A low hum, almost imperceptible at first, began vibrating through the walls. Then, lights flickered. Screens glitched. Doors electronically locked themselves with an ominous click. Sophia bolted upright. What the hell is that? Musk's eyes sharpened. Someone's trying to fight back. Before anyone could react, a portion of the wall panel slid open to reveal hidden servers that none of them had authorized or even known existed. A small team of masked technicians, clearly not part of the estate staff, sprinted into the room, tapping away at tablets and control panels. They're trying to overwrite LUMEN, Musk said, almost admiring the audacity. Chaos erupted. Titans leapt from their seats, shouting orders to non-existent security teams. Phones were dead. Communications jammed. Cameras disabled. Sophia's heart hammered. She knew instantly, this was Nathaniel's backup plan. He hadn't just betrayed them to Musk. He had hedged his bets in case Musk turned on him too. Shut it down. Arturo Vance bellowed. Kill the power. That won't help, Musk said grimly. They're running on an independent grid. Sophia grabbed Musk's arm. Can you stop it? Maybe, Musk said, already sprinting toward the servers. A technician lunged at him, but Sophia, without thinking, grabbed a heavy glass decanter from the table and smashed it over the man's head. He crumpled to the floor. Musk flashed her a quick grin. Nice swing. Working furiously, Musk bypassed the fake server's firewall, counter-hacked the infiltrator's system, and initiated a full data lockdown. His fingers flew across the interface. Come on, he muttered. Another masked technician tried to pull him away, but Nathaniel appeared, hesitation flickering in his eyes, and threw the man backward. Sophia stared in disbelief. Was Nathaniel switching sides again? I didn't sign up for this, Nathaniel snarled at the technician. Not a goddamn war. Together, Musk and Nathaniel secured the breach. The screens blinked, then returned to normal. A stunned silence filled the room. Musk straightened, breathing hard. For the record, that's why you don't underestimate information warfare. Sophia turned to Nathaniel, rage and heartbreak warring inside her. Why? She demanded. He met her gaze, unflinching. Because the old world's dying, Sophia. I thought I could slow it down. I was wrong. No one cheered. No one clapped. Because they all understood, the real battle had just begun. The assembly had survived the night. But only barely. And Elon Musk had made it clear, the age of secrets was over. By morning, the snow had stopped falling. But inside the assembly's grand hall, the storm had only just begun. Musk stood at the center, his tablet projecting two simple choices onto the giant screen. 1. Accept the transformation. 2. Resist and collapse. Sophia watched as the Titans, so used to commanding billions, sat paralyzed by fear of losing what they'd built, or worse, being forced to confront what they'd become. One by one, the hands began to rise. Claire Fontaine, stoic and resolved. Arturo Vance, grim but determined. Celine Hart, nodding once before lifting her hand. Even Rajesh Singh, the most arrogant among them, bowed his head slightly. And finally, Nathaniel Cross, bruised but unbroken, lifted his hand last. When Musk spoke, his voice was softer than anyone expected. This isn't about tearing down your empires. It's about building something better. Sophia found herself rising to her feet. She hadn't intended to speak, but the words tumbled out. We forgot that power is supposed to serve people, not enslave them. Maybe it's time we remembered. Musk smiled, a rare, genuine smile. Welcome to the new frontier. Months later, Sophia sat at a sunlit cafe in Zurich, reading a report on the new assembly, a council dedicated to ethical innovation, climate action, and global collaboration. Musk's project, once seen as reckless rebellion, was reshaping the world. Slowly, imperfectly, but undeniably. She thought of the nights she had spent accumulating influence, the years wasted guarding secrets that no longer mattered. And she smiled. Some revolutions weren't fought with guns or ballots. Some were fought with truth. Real leadership is not domination, it's service. True power is the courage to transform when staying the same would be easier. Betrayal and loyalty often wear the same face until the moment of reckoning. Legacy isn't built by what you control, but by what you inspire. If you feel the spark of change within you, these books will help you kindle it into a flame. Leaders Eat Last, by Simon Sinek, a powerful guide on why real leadership is about serving others first. Atomic Habits, by James Clear, a transformational blueprint for changing your life through small, consistent actions. Take the first step. Order these books today. Read them. Share them. Because the greatest revolutions don't start in boardrooms or battlefields. They start inside us. And maybe, just maybe, today's small act of courage could change the future.